My first thought when that knee went, I said some things I had to repent for. I said, you know what, God? Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Work in me. Take out what you need to take out.
What up, y'all? This your boy JB, aka Spoken, and I am here with another thing of unspoken truth. Now let's go ahead and get into it. Jonathan Isaac again making the headline. Let me go ahead and get into it, man. Jonathan Isaac went down today and had a really bad knee injury. Now we don't really know what's going on with that knee. Hopefully he bounced back. And for real deal, man, I had to pray and ask God to show me the way on how to deliver this message to y'all before I projected my words out there in the universe. Because when someone goes down and someone has a moment and facing a demise, I take the life teachings of never kick a person while they're down. Never kick a person while they're facing their demise. Never laugh at that person. No matter what they did, never fix your mouth to laugh and point your finger and be like, that ain't it. It won't go right for you. I can guarantee you, your day will come too. Because let me tell you something, every dog has their day. So in no way, shape, or form am I disparaging Jonathan Isaac. Jonathan Isaac is a 22-year-old basketball player that plays for the Orlando Magic. And my last post, literally, I can't even make this up. I've been posting every single day for the past week, and my last post was about Jonathan Isaac and how he didn't take a knee and didn't wear the Black Lives Matter shirt during the national anthem. And I clearly stated, you can go back to the video and check it out, I clearly stated that he's entitled to do whatever he wants. And I truly feel that from the bottom of my heart. You can do whatever the F you want to do. But I also mentioned that he was an ordained minister, which means that he has a special connection with God that's quote unquote should be more rooted than the average believer. Now with that being said, I'm quoting what he said. He said that he believed in black lives, but it's all about the gospel, Jesus Christ. And that's all fine and dandy, but the thing that I pointed out was, bro, you was off code. Off code meaning you are a black man in a system of white supremacy, in a system of injustice, police brutality flying everywhere, racial inequality. You're 22 years old. Maybe you might be missing something here. Now, the reason why I keep bringing up his age is because, look, I understand that some people's calling requires their energy a lot sooner than most. When you think about an ordained minister, you think about a 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, hell, you know what I mean? This man is 22 years old and a whole ordained minister. I'm a man of God myself. I consider myself a prophet. I know how God works. And when you're rooted into the spirit, like truly rooted, there are certain things that you can see that others can't. When you're rooted and you're anointed, you're able to use the gift that God has given you, which is discernment, to see through not just the general public's BS, but also the people that's just as anointed as you. You see, we're all human. We have our ups and downs in this thing, which means that we're gonna make mistakes. But just because you make mistakes, that don't mean you go out there and be foolish. What Jonathan Isaac did was foolish. He went against his own group with the action of being an outsider. You got whole white people out here taking a knee. You got everybody out here taking a knee on behalf of what's going on in the world. And sports has been going on for years. The killing of black people and the mistreatment of black people has been going on for over 400 plus years. And we finally got a platform to make this major and to instill the awareness in the sleep people's mind. Jonathan Isaac went against that grain when he decided to not wear a Black Lives Matter shirt or take a knee. Now I see a lot of comments of black people saying, well, he should have took a knee. Kind of ironic, isn't it? Well, he got one knee now. And to be for real, the majority of the clapbacks are people saying, dang, that's messed up, man. Are you freaking serious? It's really white people talking. It's really white people get mad. It's really non-black people. And you want to know why? Because people who do not walk the shoes of black people will never fully understand why we feel the way we feel. They can assume. Yeah, they can make their little assumptions or whatever, but you'll never actually 100% feel what's going on in this melanated body. Jonathan Isaac has a special assignment. He's ordained. He has what we call blood on his hands. You see, when you step out there and you throw God's name out there, you got to be careful about how you use it. You got to be careful about how you use the Most High's name, because at the end of the day, it ain't like God just speaking from the sky. We all know we can't hear it. It's a special connection that you develop in the relationship with God. So he threw it out there as an excuse to not show a displayed action on behalf of black people, our whole group. We're talking about kneeling on behalf of mothers, daughters, sisters, brothers, uncles, fathers, granddaddies, grandmothers being raped, abused, teeth knocked out their mouth. One horse on the left, another horse on the right, with a rope tied up to a man's leg, and they both go the opposite way and split them apart. We're talking about black babies being fed to alligators for alligator bait. We're talking about black people getting the scrap of the worst food you can imagine from white people because they felt like that's what they were worth. Even though they do all the work, even though they deserve pay, even though we don't want to give them reparation, they still get the scrap. We're talking about people who are classified as second-class citizens. We're talking about people who are the first things on the stock market. We're talking about people who steady get pushed out of their areas in their neighborhoods because of gentrification. We're talking about people who suffer from the absence of their fathers and other family members because the dominant society knew just how important the black union could become if you keep them together for generations and generations. That's us. That's what he stood against. He can say whatever he want to say as far as it's about the gospel, it's about Jesus Christ. No, that's an excuse. You use God's name in vain and you have blood on your hands and you swerved a lot of people's thoughts. Jonathan Isaac swerved a lot of people's thoughts. People who don't have a mind of their own. You know it's a lot of stupid people out here. You know it's a lot of people out here who cannot think for themselves. So when you use a powerful force and a powerful name like God in the picture to try to justify your actions for not standing up for your people who died for you, who died for your mama, who died for your whole family, who the reason why you playing in NBA making millions. I got a problem with that. The black delegation got a problem with that. We're not disparaging you, brother. Maybe some are, but I know I'm not. And I know a huge number of black people do not want to see this man hurt. We didn't do that to him. He didn't even hit nobody. His knee just gave out on him. Nobody was literally responsible for that knee going out. It just went out. Nobody touched him. It just went out. It's highly ironic how on July 31st, 2020, he chose to do whatever he did, which was stand up and not wear Black Lives Matter, which is cool. Y'all, I done told y'all before, I don't even really rock with Black Lives Matter like that. I only rock with the message. I'm not going into it. Y'all watch the last video. And then on August 2nd, 2020, your knee go out. Your knee. Not your elbow, not your neck, not your ear, not your chest, not your wrist, not your thumb, not your feet, your knee. Your knee though. You stood up against something that a black man lost his job and his whole livelihood over. Colin Kaepernick. He did that for us. You can throw God out there all you want to, but I want everybody to understand and listen very carefully. 2020 ain't handing out no sympathy points. This whole year people have been getting their cards pulled. Everybody going through it. Your knee don't replace the pain of people losing their jobs out here. Everybody getting it the way they get it. In every which way. But if you feel it the way I feel it and the way a lot of other people feel it, you will know that this ain't the time to be off code. Period. Herman Cain, a whole Trump supporter out here, ran for president, black man, basically a coon. Went to a damn Trump rally and caught COVID-19 and passed away. I don't know, God working mysterious ways. Same thing in Jonathan Isaac's case. I don't think Jonathan Isaac is a bad person. I think he's young, immature, and being immature is not me disparaging him, it's just facts. He's young, he doesn't know everything. Hell, I don't know everything. But when it comes to a touchy topic like that and a touchy stance like that, before you make your move, you gotta understand what you're up against. You use God's name in vain as a replacement to what happened to God's original people. Think about that. Now, I was one of those ones that was like, dang, now everything gonna be all shifted because this man's standing up, and it's gonna make more people step up to the plate and be like, well, I don't have to kneel either, you know what I'm saying? I just want to be an outsider. I'ma just be real. I said it in my last video. He did it for attention. He wanted his Kaepernick moment. He wanted to be an outsider. He's a great player. He has a lot of potential. The Orlando Magic is not gonna go too much further after this. They lost a good piece. The brother is gifted. But again, I see God made his move. I see Ogun made they move. I see the ancestors, 90-some% probably had a hand in this. But I'm not gonna go too far into this, man. I just want y'all to see what's really going on out here and really take accountability for the things you say and do, especially when you're going against a whole group. You got white people out here like, F you don't know what you're talking about. You're just sick. Let me tell you something. If that had been the other way around, and this has happened a lot, if a white person or a non-black person goes to the black side, goes to the other side, when you know your group ain't rocking with that, ain't rocking with them, ain't rocking with their cause, they will reprimand your behind and wrap you up and act like they don't know you. So what's so different about black people feeling the way they feel about Jonathan Isaac? What's so different? It ain't no different from how the non-black people act when somebody in their family, in their group, go against the grain. So now when we call it out, we have no souls, we have no hearts, we don't empathize for the man. That ain't it. He just went against the grain and we calling that junk out. It's called pull your card season. He got his card pulled. Some people get their card pulled and die. Some people get their card pulled, catch diabetes. Look, we all gonna have something happening to us no matter what. We all gonna leave the face of the earth. But while you're here, you gotta recognize what's happening to you in your timeline. Especially if you're ordained, a rooted man in God's energy. I'm just saying, y'all be careful, man. Be wise about your decision. And don't just listen to people because they talking on YouTube or they tweeting and stuff like that, putting stuff all on social media. You look into everything. Look into it for yourself. Grab some time for yourself and just sit down and read. Sit down and study. Sit down and soak in information. Because I guarantee you, TD Jakes wouldn't have done no crap like that. A lot of black ministers, pastors, they wouldn't have put themselves in that position the way Jonathan put himself in that position. Because they understand what they're going against. You can't just throw God's name out here to justify your action. Nah, that ain't it, bro. So I hope for a speedy recovery. Hopefully this ain't nothing serious. Hopefully he bounced back. But I gotta just keep it 1000% funky, y'all. And again, I'm not trying to ish on the guy, but he had to be removed. End of story.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Social media, bring out the devil. Social media is the devil. Social media, bring out the devil. The devil. It's a struggle, yeah. Stay on my grind and work by mine. I'm logging off this time, you bugging on my time.